Hello, everybody. Welcome back to 366 Days of Hope. My name is Pearl, and I'm here to share our next topic, which is rewiring your brain through a personal trainer's perspective. So one of the big challenges that we have as personal trainers is that when people come to us and they have these bad habits and they can't seem to break it and they feel at a loss because maybe the bad habit, it has to deal with food, and which a lot of times it does. There's this poor relationship with food, and as a personal trainer, my goal is to have you become comfortable with your food choices, and not only just comfortable, but to become confident that your food choices don't become a crutch for you, or they don't become this terrible negative relationship that you have with food. And I had one client who struggled with eating sweets. She would have this big bag of sweets that she would put in a big bowl, and she would often eat all of it. And the reason why she put it in a big bowl is because when she would have guests over, she wanted to be able to offer something to them, which is a sweet gesture. Sorry for the pun. But she was finding it really, really difficult to not snack on it. So instead I told her, well, instead of putting everything in the bowl, put 7. 1 for each day. So instead of turning it into something negative, I try to tell her to look at it as a relationship of, I get to do this, right? Altering our mindset and our relationship with food. It's that you get to eat it when you want, but you're choosing not to. So I told her, listen, you get 1 for each day. The goal is to still have 7 by the end of the week. That's a goal. But if you decide, hey, use it as a reward system. I had a really hard day today. You know what? I deserve 1 piece of chocolate. That's okay. But if you eat all of it in one sitting, that's it. There is no more. You don't get to pull out another 7 pieces of candy to refill it. That's done. It's over. That means if you end up eating everything on Sunday, you have to wait till the following Sunday to refill that bowl. It's just going to remain empty until then. And so that ended up giving her this different perspective on how she treated it. So she would reward herself at the end of the day if she, had not eaten it. And it eventually got to a point where she was like looking at it to save it and savoring it, and where we were teaching delayed gratification, right? One day she comes up to me and she said, you know what, Pearl? She's like, that was genius of an idea that you did. She's like, I don't even crave it anymore. Like, I'll see the 7 there. And she said, it's the weirdest thing. She's like, I don't even need it anymore because I see it as I get to if I want to, but I don't need to. And if I go out to eat and I have dessert, and she usually would want to get dessert, she's like, if I get a dessert, then I don't get the candy. She goes, if I don't get the dessert, I could eat the candy, but I don't have to. And eventually got to a point where she no longer even needs it. She'll have it full, and she says that she doesn't even feel the need to snack on it anymore. So there was this beautiful way of having you look at food as I get to if I want to, and if I eat one, that's okay. If I eat the rest of it, then that's a delayed gratification of saying, okay, you know what? Now I'm going to put the control in my shoes and not allow the food to be in control over me. And so it puts the responsibility back onto your clients, and it gives them a sense of confidence in themselves that they have the control over the food and not the food having control over them. And I think that makes the biggest difference, is because a lot of people struggle with their relationship with food. And as a personal trainer, this is something I definitely see a lot of, and we want to break that habit. This could possibly go with other things as well. Like if your client is a big snacker and you're trying to help them learn how to not snack, well, what I've done and what I've told my clients to do is they eat whatever their favorite snack is, they eat it with their meal. So it becomes their quote dessert. And so if they're really big into chips, it's like, okay, well then if you've eaten say all of the rest of your meal that you were supposed to, eat your chips right then and there, and that's it. if they are eating a high nutrient dense food, then they're going to be pretty full that they may not even want that. For me personally, what I encourage my clients to do is to eat satiated, where their body says, hey, this is enough, we're full, we're done. And the food that they're eating is not so overly exciting the palate that it would cause them to want more or become addicted to it. That instead their body becomes adapted to a healthier palate. And that's a very important thing because we want to get rid of the sugar addictions, the salt cravings, and all of these other things, preservatives that are being put out there. And we want to enhance the lifestyle. So that's kind of a way in which I kind of tackle a lot of these quote bad habits as I look to altering their perspective about their relationship with said bad behavior and try to find a much more logical way of approaching it. Another example would be like I had a client who was really stressed and the bad habit was, oh, I'm gonna binge eat because I'm stressed out. Well, they worked at the hospital and they had night shifts. And especially during the night shifts, they were so challenged because they would want this. So I said, well, listen, it's night shift, so there's not a lot of people. You probably don't get. And when you're writing your notes and you're feeling snackish, make sure that all of the snacks are not in reach of you. But the moment you feel those craving, I want you to do 30 jumping jacks. And eventually those ended up helping my client. Every single time they would think, oh, I really want a snack, they would either drink water or they would do 30 jumping jacks. And it ended up eventually helping them stop their bad habit. So I think that this is a really good way of altering the mind and putting, again, that power into the individual and getting them to rewire their brain differently. So with that said, guys, may you live, thrive, and be healthy. See you later. Bye.